Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Non-League to Premier League. Again here with Bath City, slowly dropping down the league, still in fourth, but only 1 point ahead of Dagenham behind us, who have one more loss than us and one less draw than us, leaving us 1 point ahead. Rochdale up on 92, completely untouchable now, 14 points ahead of us. Southend 12 points ahead of us, and even Sutton now, since overtaking us, have kept up that run of form and are 5 points ahead of us. We do come up today against Harrogate, who are down in 18th, so I'm expecting a win. But something a bit more potentially exciting has happened. As you see, Bath City announced new intake of youth players. I am yet to look at this. I thought I'd wait until I started recording this episode to have a look. It didn't look promising earlier on in the season when I had the preview of it. It was all pretty bad, but let's see what we have got in 3, 2, 1. Our new youth candidate. The youth candidates have been given child contracts. But this could be a so-called golden generation with Clinton Daly, the diamond, and you'll see here, he's an elite prospect. So we're going to start with Clinton Daly, a DM who I do like. Look at that. Already in a deep line playmaker and defensive midfield possession, 2-star. So he really could be brilliant for this team. Let's see what he's like. A deep line playmaker, first touch is 13, tackling's 13, technique's 14. He's an alright free kick taker there. Very brave. Good teamwork, good positioning, good balance, and good natural fitness. A bit on the slow side. As more of a defensive midfielder is where its aggression, composure, and decisions come in. Maybe not so good there. In a centre back role as a no nonsense centre back, he looks pretty good. And in a natural centre mid position, he's pretty good, isn't he? So that is a brilliant start with Clinton Daly. Can I already sign him? Actions approach to sign. Part-time, £55 a week. 3 years, mate. There he is, signed straight away. Now I will click on this. The top prospects here. Tapawu Masaku, an English midfield / attacking midfield centre, already at 1.5 star. Let's take a look at this boy. He is quite good. First touch technique, flair, leadership, natural fitness. Let's approach to sign this boy as well. Wow. Let's finalise that. Don't mind that. Looking at the other ones, we have Nikhil Axtal, an English goalkeeper. He has a good future ahead of him. Let's get him signed. Next up, Bevan Noyce. So anyone right now who's still ready to play? Not really. So the rest of these, from Bevan Noyce downwards, are 50-50 whether I sign them. Bevan Noyce, mainly a winger out on the left. No real standout stats there. Marlon McLean Beardmore, nothing overly stands up there. Charlie Cargill as a striker. Yeah, nothing standing up with the rest of these players, considering they could be a potential golden generation. So I'm going to leave the rest for now. But we should be very excited by Clinton Daly in the defensive midfield position. Going to head into the game now against Harrogate. Like I said, they are currently sat mid-table. My issue is I'm going to have to go with a more rotated squad. Games are coming thick and fast, to be honest. And I just need to get people in, and that's going to include having Charlie Binns in goal. But like I said, we're not going to go anywhere within the league. We're guaranteed playoff spots. We're on a poor run of form. I'm going to take some opportunities to rest up some players and try and make sure we're in the best position possible going into those playoff games. So we're going to go straight into this game. Binns, he does have a future at the club. He looks like he could be my backup keeper for next season and beyond, potentially, depending on what happens with all these youth keepers we've got coming through. Jenkins Davies out on the left, Beardmore, Vokey, Peake, Russ and White in the midfield, Keto playing left back this game, and Rains getting an opportunity at right back, which he doesn't get very often. We are a team that have outperformed what we expected so far this season. And as we get towards the end of the season and the team's getting tired and we have to rotate a bit more, etc., etc., we're really starting to drop points here. And this is probably a reflection of where we probably should have been at the start of the season. And that's a poor start within the opening 12 minutes. Binns is beaten already by Hill. As Harrogate looked to take charge of this match early on. And I'm stuck for ideas at the moment. I'm scratching my head. Because the reality is we are struggling on through. And it's a big struggle. And as it stands, the fact we're losing and Dagenham are drawing, they're going to be on level points if everything stays as it currently is. There's nothing stopping Dagenham going on and winning and taking us over, as we could drop down as low as 5th, which would be the lowest we've been for the majority of the season. We would pretty much sat at 3rd for, what, a 20 game streak, if not longer. And the second we drop from 3rd to 4th, it doesn't look like we're going to stop dropping. The points we've gained over the past 5 games is only about 2 or 3 out of 15 points. We're reflecting Bath City in real life, really, with the form we are in. But that's a great ball over to Paco Evoca. I need something from you here. Which he does do to bring us back level to 1-1. And that was a brilliant ball from Jenkins Davies. A great run from Paco Evoca to bring us back level. Rains with the throw into Beardmore, back to Rains, into White. Back to Batten now. Batten with a ball over the top. Beardmore flicks it down. Almost finds its way to Evoca, but instead it lands with Jenkins Davies. And that's a brilliant cold finish into the far right-hand corner. Down to the keeper's left. And a flip by Beardmore. Evoca can't quite get it. Keto quick to see Jenkins Davies in some space. And he's curled that beautifully into that bottom right-hand corner. Keeper outstretched, couldn't get anywhere near it as Bath take the lead. And the difference with today is we've had 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. And this is what I mean. We go through spells where we can't score at all. The spells where we find ourselves 3-1 up inside 40 minutes. And we've had something like 4 shots, 3 on target, 3 goals. Not something I'm used to. And I'm sorry to say for them, but Dagenham and Redbridge, you won't be catching us today. We will be keeping our spot in 4th. I just expanded that to look at the current results, the current scores. And we've won the ball back. Beardmore now out to Keto. Keto forward to Jenkins Davies, is having a good game. Luke Russ wide to Peak. Peak with a touchdown inside. To White to Rains. To White to Rains. Into Beardmore. Beardmore back to Russ. Out to Keto. Inside again. And Mitchy Beardmore finding that bottom corner. And Harrogate have just exploded. They've gone bust. And they ran out of ideas how to beat this Bath side, who are passing the ball around beautifully. First time passes into each other's feet. And we're going to take a quick look here at the scores today. Nobody who we're against playing by the looks of it. I don't see Sutton on here. They've already played. They're up 5 points ahead of us as it stands. But what a first half. We're going to go into the second half as we started the first. Whilst Harrogate, finding themselves 4-1 down, have made a triple substitution at half time, which includes a centre-back, a centre-mid and a striker. So they've changed the spine of their team. They want me to focus play down the right here, even though Peak's done the worst. Unless it's down our opponent's right, then that would make sense. But played short there. Out to Morris across to Cass. He's looking for options. Egbo drops back, picks up the ball, plays it long. But it's a Bath head to win it, but it falls to Thompson, to Smith, through to Ogbu. And it's a good save by Binns, and it's out for a corner to Harrogate. I've paused the game there. I'm going to make a couple of subs early on. Jenkins Davies, Bukayo Diarra, Byron can come on. Swap with Parcell. White now needs to come off. Sweeten getting some game time. Lennon Peake will put Cornick on. A young youth player. We do have a centre-back, we take Batten off. And that is it for now. I'm going to keep that one substitute for now. Beardmore with 2 goals. Ketter with 2 assists. Afoki with a goal as well. Jenkins Davies has been subbed off with the other assist. And Beardmore with a solo goal. No assist to the goal. As Bath are currently riding out with a 4-1 lead. A big ball by Byron. It's going to be collected by Balshaw in goal for Harrogate. He's going to play this short. Rolls it out to Cass. Drives forward into the middle of the park. No one really closing him down. Letting him have the opportunity to make that pass to Ogbu. But Binns with one hell of a save. Quick last second reactions. And the 4th and final sub of the game is going to see Afoki come off. Was tempted to put Fisher on, but we will go with Dolling. Played short to Tomlinson now. Out to his centre-back partner, Parsal, who decides to go long. Towards Dolin. Dolin doesn't win the header and it falls to Smith, but a poor pass picked up by Russ. Russ out wide to Cornick. The young man's got an opportunity off the bench. And drags it wide. And I am excited by that youth player we were talking about before the game. I've already forgotten his name. But as a holding mid option to come in and replace the on loan man, potentially replace Warruher, could even replace Tilson. Tilson's getting old a bit, getting on a bit. You know, the future of the centre mid could be down to 2 young midfielders to replace the experienced head of Tilson. It may be better to bring off the bench with the experience he's got to see out games. And a rather dominant first half has turned into a rather boring first half, with Bath seeing out the game and Harrogate trying to do what they can to claw anything back, but have managed to do absolutely nothing. A brilliant result after a poor run of form. It's good to get a win in, especially with what I would consider a second string team there. We didn't have many of our first team players in the lineup. We were well rotated, which is what we needed. Beardmore impressing again. He has had a great season. I do want to look a bit more into Mitchie Beardmore's stats. This is one of his better seasons for Bath. 34 appearances, 12 goals, 4 assists. Last season, he's beaten last season's performance already, and he's played what, 9 games less than last year, and he's already done better, only by 1 goal. But obviously, we still have games in this season to go, and he's been important, especially at the start of the season. Bath City players, Casagrande and Beardmore in Team of the Week. I'm going to continue here, and potentially we may see if the youth players have signed. We're going to see if we are recommended to sign any more than we already have. But for the second season running, we've had what they quote-unquote claim to be a golden generation for the second season in a row. Lennon Peake there injured. Diop back for full training. It's good to see we're bringing some good youth players in now, with Diop coming into the first team and the latest golden generation potentially coming through. Let's have a look. Lennon Peake only 1 to 2 days, nothing to worry about. And I'm going to scroll down to have a quick look again. That was it, Clinton Daly. I'm very excited for him in DM. There's potential I've moulded him into a centre-back, to be honest. Do I make him a centre-back? I'd rather him be a ball-playing centre-back. Or a DM. Decision. If you have any idea what you think I should do with this man, please do let me know. But for now, that'll be the end of the episode. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.